Okay, sorry, I'm about to film. What is, do you pronounce the brand Dieverune? Dieverune? I really don't know why I hit record already because my hand is bleeding. So many good intentions. And then this is what happens. I cut myself changing my safety razor.
Doesn't feel so safe now, does it?
And some of you are probably like, Tom, you could just put a Band-Aid on it. I had a Band-Aid on it, and guess what? I hated it, so I'm just gonna bleed out in this video. What's up, Victoria? It's Victoria, and today I have a lot of new makeup for us to play in. Some things that have been featured before, some things that have not been featured before. A brand new collection.
I usually say Dieverune. Some people say Dieverune. Really, I don't think there's like a bad name, you know? Phonetics, hooked on phonics.
Let's just get into it. I can't. What a mess. Oh my god, I'm a professional. I'm professional. I'm so tired. Please stop bleeding. What's up, Victoria? It's Victoria. Today we're going to be featuring some new makeup. Some of it's been featured on the channel. Some of it's been featured in short form. Some of it hasn't been featured at all. I'm going to be featuring a new collection from Andromeda and Dieverune, which I did try to confirm the pronunciation of the brand name and was informed that even the brand owner flip-flops on how to pronounce it. We're just really going to have a lot of fun. If you happen to be new to my channel, hi, welcome. Please subscribe. I'm bleeding. Oh my god, this is crazy. Okay, I like to focus my channel on loving my makeup collection as it is before making a makeup purchase. But in today's video, I will be featuring new stuff. But if you're into the concept of that, I would love for you to stick around. I'm on Patreon and I have channel memberships. Those are also linked in the description box. And then also check out my pinned comment for ways to support people in Gaza. I might have to go get another Band-Aid. I hate Band-Aids. I didn't used to be someone who had like a ton of sensory issues. I find that as I age, I'm having more and more sensory issues. However, I think my hand thing, like I have eczema on my hands and my hands are just like dry all the time, and just like the texture of like sticky on my hands is just deeply unpleasant. And I'm talking about like Band-Aid sticky. I just like threw this on so poorly. I also feel like it's cutting off circulation to the end of my finger. I don't like putting my hair up when it's clean because it feels like it's gonna fall out immediately. And also, I feel like the last time I did pigtails like this, it wasn't long enough to jiggle. Do you see how it's jiggling? And I feel like the last time I did pigtails, they just kind of shot straight out. I don't know. I feel like my hair grows so fast and so slow at the same time. Let's start with, I guess, like, we're going to consider this to be lip prep. This is from Lethal Cosmetics. They sent this to me in PR. Oh, wow. The label's already rubbing off. So that's great. They sent me the whole Dexter collection from their Dexter collection. They sent me a bunch of stuff. But this is one of their lip oils. The orange one is rolling around somewhere. I have historically not been a big fan of lip oils, but I really like these because the formula is really thin, nourishing feeling, and also just like wears a pretty good length of time without feeling like a lip gloss. If you want to make a lip gloss, make a lip gloss, call it a lip gloss. Don't make a lip gloss, spit in my face, and tell me it's a lip oil. This is actually what I believe to be a lip oil texture. This is the shade, sorry, it does have a shade name. Aconite. It has sparkle in it and it is black, but I don't find that it really reads that way. Like it's like maybe makes my lips look a little bit darker, but not something with a real strong pigment. I actually like the way that both of them make my lips look, but I prefer this one because it's a little darker. And that's it. So we're going to use that as the prep step for my lips today, which it probably won't be enough for my lips today, but we're going to do our best. As we go through this, just know that Andromeda is my friend. I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible, but I love Andromeda and my bias is going to be towards them. And I just want to say, because this is like my friend's collection as well, you might like Andromeda. I love Andromeda. I will say, like, if Andromeda wasn't kind enough to set up so that I would get this sent to me in PR, I'm not sure if I would have actually bought any of this. So it is a real privilege for me to get to like try this and test this out for you. I'm excited because Dieverune is like a new brand to me. I've not tried any of their stuff before. So like that's really exciting. But like as we go through the collection, I think you'll notice some things that like wouldn't be something that I would buy. And so I'll be honest about that as we go through it. I'm not going to use the entire collection, but there are quite a few things, but we will be be using like the eyeshadows. So that's like kind of the main part, but there are a couple other pieces to the puzzle here. And also, if you love Andromeda, but this collection doesn't speak to you, make sure you're following them on Instagram, support them by sharing the collab. Maybe people that follow you would also be interested in this and like maybe would want to buy it. Always keep in mind that like just to support someone doesn't mean you have to buy the collections that they release. You can support them in many other ways. And that's just, I just want to remind you as like we are like going through this. I got sent like a handy dandy how much things cost and what they are. I'm gonna start with the things that interest me the least and I probably will not be using on camera. We have the wet liner quad, which is, this is huge. This is like really big. Oh, the collection is called, what's this collection called? Magnetic Mineralia, which is the name of the eyeshadow palette, but I wasn't sure if that was the name of the collection as well. Inspired by photos of Meteor passing by the Andromeda galaxy, emitting bright green light, I wanted everything in this collection to be inspired by minerals, and a meteor is just a big chunk of minerals after all. This is $9. If you have seen me use wet liner at all, like it's been very rare. So this is something that I might try out at another time, but probably in my free time. I think the idea of this color in the inner corner is like appealing to me, but like this kind of thing is not super inspiring to me. But I do want to just say that this packaging is kind of interesting because Dieverune is like a smaller indie brand. I'm assuming that they're not making like custom components outside of the realm of like the eyeshadow art on it. There's like some texture on the bottom of this, which makes it a little bit easier to open, just in case you were like worried about that. It is interesting packaging. I've never encountered packaging like this before. I won't be using any of these today because that's not my thing. And I'm sure Andromeda, if you're watching, you're like, that makes sense to me. We also have a highlighter, which I have zero interest in. This is a very specific highlighter for a very specific person. So this is the shade Opal. This is $24. Inspired by its namesake, it has a speckled effect in the pan. It's a blend of microfine sparkles and a bunch of colors once it's on the skin. Smoother in finish compared to the other sparkly highlighters Dieverune has released so far. This highlighter is glued into the compact. If you wanted to depot this, that would be a little bit of an extra step. Because of the multicolored sparkle, this is not something that really like resonates with me spiritually. But let's get to the eyeshadows because those do resonate with me a little more spiritually. We'll start with the single shadow. This one's not in the palette. I'm not sure why this one wasn't in the palette. I don't know if it like didn't fit or what, but maybe we'll get the answer. So this is Garnet. This is $14. Inspired by its namesake, the silver sparkles running throughout make it unlike any other red eyeshadow I've personally seen. The compact is magnetic. Okay, so this one, it does pop out if you want it to. This shade is really wild. So that's like a thick swatch of it, but as I always tend to, when you really blend it out, you can really see, look at that. That is really wild. I probably won't be using this one today, and I'm not usually into like red copper eyeshadows, but this one is really like look at that. All that silver in it makes it compelling to me because I love silver. I don't know if you've learned. I don't know if you've caught on, but I just love silver. We have the Somber Soils 4-pan quad. This is $20. The quad packaging is particularly inspired by black soil in Ukraine, an important source of inspiration for me. As a second-generation Ukrainian immigrant, my Ukrainian family is no longer around, and I wanted to honor them in some way through my collection. I created the background art for the quad. These are all satins, a formula I feel is very underrepresented in the indie space. The dark gray satin is also inspired by black soil in Ukraine, the other three being inspired by other atypical soils. The packaging is magnetic and the pans are labeled on the bottom so you know which one they fit into. I have played around with these a little bit and I have put the black one on my eyes and it's really pretty. I didn't think I was gonna care about them, but the black was so pretty. It's a very pretty one and done smoky eye. We might work it into today's look, but I'm going to try to do something different with today's look because I have been playing with this collection for a couple of days and I've been basically doing the same look every time because I was like, I love this look. But here is the palette, the Pierce Resistance, the Magnetic Mineralia. Andromeda has been texting me updates as they've been working on this palette, and for some reason, my eyes could not look away from the two green eyeshadows. But when you cover them up, it's pretty neutral. It's pretty neutral. I can't cover them up while also still showing you. But it's a pretty neutral palette is how I would describe it. I don't find purples too jarring to wear on my eyes. And then you have some of the greens and it's really beautiful. I was nervous, but now that I have it, I'm not nervous. I've worn this a couple of times. Let me read what Andromeda has to say. This is 15 pans. There's 9 mattes, 4 shades, and 2 sparkly shades. This palette was inspired by a wide variety of minerals, both through rocks and refined gemstones. It's my personal perfect assortment of neutrals. The art was done by my longtime friend and tattoo artist at Zane Decker Tattoos on Instagram. The amethyst on the cover represents my spouse's birthstone. The snake represents serpentine, a stone I've been obsessed with for a long time. Originally, the shades were all named after various minerals, but it felt most right to me to leave them without names. The packaging is magnetic and the pans are labeled on the bottom, so you know which slot they fit into. I'm wondering if they're like numbered, like row 1. Let's look. We have the time. They are labeled basically just 1 through 15. I have been playing with this palette for like the past couple of days. This shade right here, I cannot stop using. I'm just gonna swatch this one for you. So this is like the kind of eyeshadow formula that I really like for sparkles. It's the kind of sparkle formula that like if you just swatch it, it's basically a metallic, but then when you blend it out or very gently apply it to your lids, you get this really beautiful wet look dispersed sparkle. This shade in particular is just, it's gorgeous. It's my favorite shade. Every time I've done a look with it, I've done a look involving this, but I'm going to challenge myself a little bit. We're not doing anything crazy with my eye look today. I'm going to challenge myself to not use that today. I'm not really sure what I want to do because I think because Andromeda is pretty similar in skin tone to me, these shades look pretty neutral to me as well. Now, I think if you have a warmer skin tone than us, you might not find these to be very neutral, but they look very neutral to me, and I think they're going to read very neutral and look really organic on my eyelids. But we had to prime my eyes first, and I actually have some new products for that. A lot of you have been recommending for me to try this from Morphe. It's the Solo Artist Cream Eyeshadow. I have the shade Chorus. I bought this in person at an Ulta nearby, and they only had the colorful ones. The light skin tone shades were out of stock. This will only really work when I'm doing like maybe a smoky eye. Oh my god, just get it all out. My body's making so many noises. I'm bleeding. Like, what is going on? So this will work for me because a lot of the eyeshadows I tend to wear tend to be in this family. But if I do a thick swatch of it, it is just like a cool toned light brown. It almost really didn't show up as a color on my eyelids, but I was applying such a thin layer of it that I think that it just like didn't show up too much. Like it left a little bit of a cast, but it wasn't super pigmented. That's only with a light hand. I have accidentally gone heavy handed on it. My patrons and members saw me do that with it in the video I just posted for them. I have that, and I also bought this because this felt a little too specific and I did need to replace my eyeshadow primer. So I also bought the Ulta Beauty, what is this called? Matte Veil Longwear Eye Primer. I had been talking a while about wanting to use the About Face eyeshadow primer, which Andromeda oft recommends to me to try. And I think it's their favorite for matte eyeshadows. I also have heard a lot of people say good things about this, and then I figured this was my wild card. I don't know. I really don't know. I really had no rhyme or reason to it. I figured I could also try this because I've tried an Ulta Beauty liquid eyeshadow and it was really pretty and I really liked it, but it was just like not something I needed to keep. Like it wasn't something that I felt like I needed because I bought it to see if it was close to Skin of a Killer from Bella Beauté Par. I wish this had a doe foot. That's like the first thing I'll say, and it also feels like it's only half full, but you get 0.3 fluid ounces. Eyeshadow primer tends to last me a really long time. I'm gonna try this one today. It looks like it's gonna be tinted, so that's interesting, and there was only the one shade of it. I think this also ranked really well in Millie, who's also known as Bad to the Brow here on YouTube. I think she ranked this one pretty well. So this one is tinted, but it's my skin tone. I just wish it had a doe foot, is how I'm feeling. Product is feeling a little bit like slippery and silicone-y. Feel like it definitely, like, both because it is a little bit tinted, but I think because it feels a little bit silicone-y, I feel like it really blurred out like imperfections on my eyelids, which is like not something I'm usually that concerned about, but it feels like it's gonna work pretty well. I feel like the NARS one I had been using was like a little bit stickier. I think this will do. The thing about me and eyeshadow primer is I feel like it takes me a really long time to use them up. I think I had that NARS one for like 2 years. I think this was like $14. Like spending $14 on it feels better than spending almost $30 on it. But I think whenever something lasts me that long, I feel indifferent about spending, I guess, $30 on it. I know that some people wear a lot more eyeshadow and do a lot more makeup than I do, so this could definitely be a good buy and be a better value for someone else. I think it's less important to me, the cost of an eyeshadow primer. I just want something that works because it's like, I know it's going to last me a really long time. Everyone's use of makeup is different because it's like, I don't use eyeshadow products, but some people buy an eyeshadow pencil a month. So it's much more economical for them to find a $5 pencil that they really like rather than just like sucking it up and buying a $20 eyebrow pencil. Anyway, I'm going to zoom you in. My brushes are dirty. Who's surprised? I'm actually going to set this base. I'm not really sure if it needs set, but that's what I always do with this shade right here. These do not have names, so I will just have to point them out to you as I put them on my eye. Like I said, I've done a couple looks with these eyeshadows and their mattes perform very well. I haven't had any issues with them. They remind me a lot of the Bella Beauté bar mattes, which in the indie space, that's a very high compliment. That is like my baseline for what I will accept for indie mattes. And this shade is really pretty. I mean, it's kind of, it's like just a little more desaturated than my skin tone, but it's like, it might as well be my skin tone. I feel like that just added a little more pigmentation to the lids as it was setting the eyeshadow base. I don't know how to describe this about the eyeshadow primer, but something about just applying the powder eyeshadow on top of it leads me to, like the way it went, leads me to believe that me and this eyeshadow primer will get along very, very well. Did I mention that all of this stuff was sent to me in PR? All of the Dieverune stuff is. I haven't decided how I want to say Dieverune yet. Dieverune? Dieverune? I really have oh, imagine this. I mostly have been using the gray shades. I did do a look where I put this green in the inner corner. It's a very interesting green because I thought it was going to be a neon, but it read more like a pastel neon, and I don't really know how to describe it better than that was like how it felt when it was going on. This purple is really pretty. So I think maybe what I want to do, because I think I want to do this all over the lid, the sheer topper shade. Okay, I want to put that all over the lid. Maybe I'll put this shade all over my lid because, ooh, look at that duochrome. It flips green, which is why I wanted to put it on my lids. How do girls, ladies, how are we showing duochromes these days? How are we doing that? Anyway, so I think I'm going to do mostly the purples on, like, just kind of build a look with the purples and see where that takes us. How does that sound? Well, it has to sound good to you because I made the choice and I'm the one doing this makeup look right now. So you really don't get to have a say, unfortunately. Not a democracy. Okay, we'll start with this purple, the lighter purple, and we'll use that kind of like as a transitionary shade. This purple was really actually surprising to me. It's kind of periwinkle, which I wasn't expecting whenever I first went in because whenever I look at it in the pan, it just looks like a light purple to me, which I guess periwinkle is a light purple, but it just read a little bit differently than I thought it was going to. Like, it had a lot more white in it, I think, than I really noticed. There's just, like, the base is pretty white. So maybe kind of very similar to, like, the green that's right below it that I thought was, like, neon, not neon. There's just, like, something about these shades. It's a very pretty color. Just this garage door eyes with just this purple. Hell yeah. I'm finding that these are a little more pigmented, maybe than the Bella Beauté bar eyeshadows upon impact, but still very blendable and buildable. I haven't had any issues with them yet with the shades I've used. Is there a purple in the Soils quad? Maybe we can use that satin as an inner corner shade. I really haven't decided if we're going to work one of those in. We'll see. Me and Tiff in the evenings have been watching Bob's Burgers together, and they've seen a little bit of Bob's Burgers, but not a ton, because what I've been finding with Tiff is Tiff will like claim to have seen something and then we'll have only seen like the first season of it. Spoiler alert for Girls incoming. We're watching Girls last summer. Was that last summer? Oh my god. Or was that earlier this year? Time is a flat circle. And the first time Adam showed up on screen, they were like, ugh, love Adam. And I was like, really? And they were like, yeah, Adam's great. And I was like, is Adam great? And then we were watching and we must have got to like, I don't know what season they like hadn't seen, but it was before all of the weird stuff with Adam happens. And Tiff was like, oh, no wonder you responded so strangely when I said I liked Adam. And I was like, yeah, I like didn't know what you were talking about. Okay, let's see. When you're looking for an eyeshadow brush, but you're not looking really for an eyeshadow brush, this brush This brush really needs cleaned. She's in sorts. I use this brush all the time. I haven't really found a brush that I like as much of it for my crease. It's the Wayne Goss. It's the old Wayne Goss 19 brush, but it's like, it's the crease brush to me. It's like small enough. Other ones that I found that are like a similar shape are like the density was wrong. Like I've tried a couple from Sigma that are like similarly shaped, but the Sigma bristles are not sturdy enough, in my opinion, for eyeshadow brushes. Anyway, I'm gonna go into this one right here. I'm gonna try to put that in the crease. We'll see. We'll see. It might be a little too dark, but we're gonna go in with a very light hand. Very pretty. I don't know if I've used this shade yet. Feels like a shade I would use. It's like a purple gray. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I use it? When I open up an eyeshadow palette, the mattes are great. Looking, you know, I will look at the mattes. They are considered, but I'm jumping right in those shimmers, which is why at the end of that swatching video that I did a couple videos ago, I was like, we're just swatching we're all here for the shimmers. So I am going light-handed with it and it's working out quite well, but I think if I like wasn't being careful, this could be a little bit darker than I want it to be. But that's why technique is important, and I love this blend I'm getting. It's very nice. If you want to know more about this if you want to know more about this brand, my friend Ivy, she doesn't post a ton on YouTube. Her channel's Better Than Basic, and she did a video. I think that the brand has 3 other eyeshadow palettes, and I might be wrong about that, but she talked about, I think, the entire offering the brand had, or maybe the entire offering minus one. I am having trouble speaking today. I'm like, I don't know what is going on. I sat down to film this video. I was like, can't wait to talk about Andromeda's collection, and I'm just completely tongue-tied. I didn't do my vocal warm-ups before I started filming. I don't do vocal warm-ups to film. I mean, sometimes I do if I haven't talked yet that day, but I have spoken today. But sometimes I'll film like in the morning on a Saturday, and I won't have like spoken yet. So sometimes I will do some Mimi Mimo moves, some unique New Yorks, and I should have done some unique New Yorks before filming today because whew, she's tongue-tied. Okay, let's move along. Everyone, are you not entertained? No, I want this one. I know my finger hasn't fully fallen off, but it's like in my brain I can't use it at all. I think I'm gonna go in with this. I think it's a black. I haven't used this shade yet, so everyone, fingers crossed it's a black. I don't know. Should we use that shade? Maybe we should use that shade. We will forego the black for right now. Okay, we're gonna go into the deep purple, which I haven't used yet. Ooh. Okay, wait, we made the right call by switching to this purple because, oh my god. I'm feeling differently about the shades in the pan versus on my eyes. Because, I don't know, that looks like super plummy to me. Like, but it's like a blackened purple. I don't know, like in the pan, it's just like it looked a little like not unpleasant, but like not the kind of purple I like, but it turns out that it is. It's a beautiful smoky purple. Hi, welcome to my channel, Smoky Purple. You remember Smoky Taupe? They're dead. Smoky Taupe's dead. I'm Smoky Purple now. It does not have a nice ring to it, and it is horrid to say, so don't call me that in the comments. Don't call me up. I'm going out tonight, and I'm out of my mind. It's the Love Island song, right? I was listening to that song before it was the Love Island song. Maybe. I actually think the real reason I know that song is because of Cody Rigsby. I feel like there was a point where Cody Rigsby was like using that song in nearly every one of his Peloton rides. And I was like, this song really goes. Very rarely am I like learning about new music on Peloton. And you know why that is? And I know what the truth is. The truth is I mostly only ride on my Peloton for Cody Rigsby classes, and he has the gayest playlist, but he does play like the same rotation of 50 songs until he remembers that there are songs out of that, and then he'll throw some new ones in the mix. I wish he would do more Jessie Ware because he seems to really like Jessie Ware, and I want more Jessie Ware. I want more Jessie Ware in my life all of the time. And he was so late to Chapel Roan. He did a Chapel Roan ride, and he was like, guys, I know I didn't know the songs last week, but now I'm really into it, and it was very funny to me. Anyway, Subway out today, whenever you're watching. I don't know when you're watching. I don't know, I'm gonna post this soon. When does this palette launch? That was probably really important information I should have told you. Launches August 3rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Codes will not work on the launch, but there will be a discounted bundle of everything for $120. Look at that. How did I do that? Don't come in, cause I'm in the club. Don't come in. That song's really good. You should listen to the whole song if you've only heard it on Love Island. You should listen to the whole thing. Okay. Now we're gonna go in with that shimmer shade I wanted to put on my lids, the duochrome. I'm gonna go lightly. I don't want a very dense application of this, so I'm taking a really fluffy brush. This is the Sigma E40. Look at that. So sparkly. Everything's so sparkly in this collection. Well, minus the mattes, the plethora of mattes, but like, this is so pretty. They're doing, the sparkles are really hitting Dieverune. Diva. We'll call this brand Diva on this channel from here on out. Go ahead, Diva. Go forth. Dieverune. Have you ever had Lorna Doone cookies? Like the name Lorna Doone reminds Dieverune. I shouldn't be filming this video. I'm losing my mind, my ever-loving mind. I love this shade. Okay, I was real sketch. I was like, well, I like the green shift on it, but this is really shifty. I think it's because it's sparkly, and I find that this happens with like duochromes and multichromes that are sparkly. You get to see the shift a little bit more. Oftentimes when I'm sitting here filming and I put on, like, think of one of like the black base multichromes from Cleona Cosmetics. When I put one of those on and I'm sitting in front of my vanity, I could only see the one flip of the multichrome because just like the way that light's hitting. But there's something about these where I can see all of the shifts in it when I turn my head in front of like all of the lighting that I'm sitting in front of currently. Wow, I love that. You love it? Ugh. Love to do sparkle cam. We'll do a little of this in the inner corner. It's like a wet looky kind of thing. I was about to say something absolutely demented. I'm really glad I didn't. Anyway. There's a little bit of blue in that. Do you see the blue? Ooh. This is like Beetlejuice eleganza is what we're giving here. Beetlejuice. I guess that's kind of like, the palette vibe is kind of Beetlejuicy. Beetlejuicy. How many times have I said Beetlejuice? Yeah. Come on over, baby. Yeah. Okay. That's it for the palette. I don't have a code with them. If Andromeda has a code, I'll put it up. Like I said, the codes will not work on this, but I'll just put Andromeda's code up in case you happen to be interested in anything else from Dieverune. Dieverune. It's like you have to say it twice. Dieverune. Okay, Dieverune. I didn't use any glitter primer. I got like a little bit of glitter fallout. Oh, my face is so wet. I just did my skincare before I sat down. Wow, that tape didn't stick to anything. Beekman 1802 sent me like their Milky Way toner thing, and I used it as my final step in my skincare, just to stay hydrated. I'm finding that I think it's because I'm on so many allergy medicines in the summertime. I actually think it drives me out, except look at that. Look at her. We have to respect her, and we have to respect her. There's one thing we have to do is respect her. I think I've only featured this in a short. I think I applied it on camera, but I wasn't talking about this specifically in the video. This is from About Face. This is their black mascara, and I really have been liking it. I've tested enough times to have a little more of an opinion. So I have worn it out and about in humidity, and it was fine. I didn't get any flaking or smudging. The formula reminds me a lot of the Lash Clash from YSL. So it's like kind of one of those mascaras that really brings the drama in the volume department and just kind of looks like you've put on some wispies on top of your regular lash, and I like it. It is called a 1994 mascara, and I don't really know what the mascara trends were at the time, but I like it. I like it. It brings some drama. However, when I work out and makeup, it's just because of how my day turns out and the fact that I'm too lazy to wash my face before I work out, if I am wearing makeup before I work out. But I did wear this on a 30-minute Peloton ride, and I would say don't do that. It doesn't like a lot of sweat because I was sweating. TM, Cody was making me sweat. Sweaty bean. You heard of baddie bean, but do you know sweaty bean? Don't call me sweaty bean. Guys, I just say that stuff. It's so stupid. You don't have to call me that in the comments. It's fine. You call me so many things. I need less names. Smoky less names. People find me and they're like, your name's Tom, but you say Victoria at the top. People are calling you blurry taupe in the comments. It's like, Yeah, I know. I don't really know how to describe it to you. Basically, every video I give myself a new name and people run with it. And that's great. But also, we have to stop. That's the mascara. Oh, pretty. Anyway, I was working out Peloton. It was melting into my eyes. And I know it was the mascara because nothing else on my face was new that day. It was like melting into my face, melting into my eyes. My eyes were on fire. And so I like went like this, like rubbed the mascara off, and I just took my hands were covered in black mascara and I rubbed them on my thighs. Not workout friendly if you work out in makeup, but seems to do okay even in the hot weather. But I would say if you are sweating and there's a lot of humidity, not great for that. But for the winter time, because like Lash Clash, I like to wear it in the winter. I think that this could be like a substitution for that. It's not the same as Lash Clash. It's like not as drama, but it's great. And this is much cheaper. Say how I feature these products? I don't think I featured here's the thing about making short form with new stuff. What has made it into a long form video already? Anyway, I've only done first impressions content, I think, with these. So, but I've talked about them more. I don't know. But we'll use both of them today. This is the First Base Priming Spray from Trixie Cosmetics. This stuff's so good. I don't know that it has I don't know. I've not used a spray primer, but someone in my comments somewhere was like, I really like the Smashbox spray primer. I wonder if it's similar. I can't speak to that, but if it is similar, it's lovely. I don't know. I'm so used to just like a lotion primers or like gel primers that you have to spread out. But there is something really nice and lazy about not really having to like rub stuff on your face. Now, I do like to pat it into my skin. I'm not sure that it's necessary, but like, I don't know, if you don't watch Trixie in her videos when she does makeup application, she uses this. I don't know if she uses it when she needs like really heavy duty drag, but she would always spray it on her face and be like, God, I love this. And it's like, well, it's just because you made it, which is like certainly part of it, but like, God, I love it. This was sent to me in PR, and like, I opened the box and it was just like, okay, I'm not really sure how I feel about that, but it really does like a nice job, like setting your skin. There's like a little bit of like I almost feels like it makes a little bit of like a non-comedogenic film on your face as primer, but it also makes your skin feel really soft. It's so nice. I think these are $18. If you finally want to buy the Trixie bronzer, and you're like, what else can I try? If you need a primer and you're on Trixie Cosmetics and you're already making a purchase, only if you're looking for like a prep step to like rejuvenate your skin. It says it extends the wear of your makeup up to 8 hours. I'm not sure that this does a ton of work extending the longevity of my makeup, but it is really nice. I don't know. I also feel like did it blur my skin a little bit? Like, that's the thing I can't figure out about this, is like, I feel like it's a sneaky little thing that does more than it seems, which is crazy. I'm so mad about this. I got, how did I get Fallout now? For concealer today, I'm going to use the Westman Atelier concealer. I have the shade, is it FL1 or L1? Atelier L1. I used this a couple days ago on my under eyes, and it looked so nice. And I was like, I need to pull that out more. I think because I've been testing so many complexion products recently, not that this got like pushed to the back of the drawer or anything. I think it's just because it's small. I don't reach for it because it's the size of it compared to like, not that I want my products in my drawer to be like huge or anything. Compared to other things, it just is smaller. And so when I open the drawer and I'm like looking for a concealer to maybe want to use, it just like doesn't end up at the forefront of my mind. And it's such a good under eye concealer. I also don't think I love this component. Like, it's nice because it's like glass and it's like heavy, but like everything feels short and stubby about it. Again, my finger that I refuse to use because it has a band-aid on it. Like, I don't know. There's just something unpleasant about the opening experience of it, I think. Just gonna tap this into my skin. I've used this with a brush. I'm just doing a little bit of cover up on the top. A little bit of cover up. Ooh, do any of you call it cover up? I feel like my mom calls it, like if my mom was like, we're getting about makeup, she'd be like, I just need a little bit of cover up. My mom doesn't really wear makeup though, but I feel like she would call it cover up. Cover up feels like a very retro way to call it. And if you did call it cover up, are we talking about concealer or foundation? I mean, both do it. The shaved sides of my hair, like from the, like, here, it's like starting to grow out enough that it's like texture. It's texture because I think some of it is beard hair. So we'll see, but we'll see once it grows out a little bit more. Because I don't know where do sideburns stop? Like, if you don't have facial hair, like where is it? Is that where I need to start shaving up to? I don't know the right answer. Okay, what I wanted to do today, I wanted to go back to the People of Earth Co. foundation that I was gifted, and gifted by the brand, PR gifted. I want to add, you know what I just got in PR? Wait, did I bring it over here? No, I think it's here. Wait, no, where is it? No, where? Merit sent me their new cleansing oil, but they also re-upped me on the Great Skin. This is like the oil by phase Great Skin. When I opened the package, I was actually more excited about having this again than the double cleanse. What I'm thinking is I'm gonna do a mixture again. Then I'm gonna add like a pump of this to thin it out. So I was rewatching one of the shorts that I made with not this, but this. I do think it has a little more coverage than like my preference. So what I'm want to do is thin it out a little bit. One whole pump might be too much of this, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get a half pump because my recollection of this pump is that it really power shoots the first bit of oil out. Let's do it. My mixing palette's upstairs. Hey. Where's my other one? I don't want to go get it. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never. What? This is a very retro hautemess Tom video. The vibes of this, retro HMT. Girls who will get it will get it. The girls. Why is this open? They're okay, everyone. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it. I sprayed alcohol towards the Band-Aid. It did not feel good. All right, let's do my mixture. So we're gonna take mostly the shade 3C, which is the lightest one, a little bit of 4C, and just like the smallest bit of black. Although I think I mixed, maybe this might be a little bit too dark. I went a little too dark. There is oil in that, and now that I'm mixing it into this, and they do say lotions on the, like in their Instagram, so maybe this won't work, but we'll find out together, and that's fine. We live, we laugh, we learn, we love, and we can always literally start over. Still a lot of coverage. What am I gonna do? I don't know. I think we're a little bit committed to this now. I need to do that again, but maybe with like, I don't know. I don't actually, it still looks so pretty though. Like it is such a pretty foundation. It's just like a lot of coverage. It's applying a lot thinner on the side. I do think this, just to be clear, I do feel as though this is user error. Just trying something new because I feel like this side has the desired coverage that I want. And this side feels just like very full coverage. And I don't know if I just like happened to pick up a portion of the foundation on this side that didn't have the Great Skin in it. And on this side I did, because I'm liking the coverage on this side a little bit better. Whenever I was mixing it though, I did add a little bit too much of the darker cool shade, and it was like looking like it was not going to be right on my skin. I'll have to keep experimenting with these. I also in a video want to just put on the shade 3C because I think it will work without mixing it, but there is like, I don't know why the mixing all of a sudden became fun to me. And I do still want to do the mixing video, don't you worry. That's on my docket. I don't have a new contour or anything, so I'm gonna like contour, bronze, and powder. I don't even know if I have a new blush. Actually, I don't really have a new blush either. Basically, I think the next time you'll see me, we'll be ready to do lip products, but I will link in the description box everything I've used up until that point, and we'll do like a music montage. Sure, why not? Okay, I'm mid-contouring, and this is what has happened every time I've worn the People of Earth foundation. And I don't know why my brain doesn't, like, remember this, but there's something about it just sitting on your skin for, like, a little bit longer that then it just looks so good. Oh, it looks so good. This foundation's incredible. I haven't done like a long wear test, but Teresa is dead. She lives in Florida and she's had a great longevity with it. She does have drier skin than me, so that might be different. Back to the Dieverune. You should probably use a glitter adhesive for this shimmer shade because as I keep doing my face, more of it is falling out, and I didn't do any glitter primer on it, and I should know better, but I just want to make you aware. to get you a little bit caught up. For bronzer, I used Grisaille from Surat. For blush, I did a little bit of a combo of Wisp and Dust from Phytosurgeons. And then contour was Omen, which is like kind of my standard fair contour. I'll use this highlighter today, but probably never again. But I'll demo it for you. But probably never again. Can I use this fan brush? Yeah. Okay, that is like very much not my speed. I feel like I'm kind of zooming in a little bit because I feel like I'm being like washed out by the lighting. And whenever we do sparkle cam at the end, we'll get some of the cheek in there too, so you can see how sparkly it is, because it is quite sparkly. Okay, let me wipe off my lips. Let's talk about these from Trixie Cosmetics. These are the Soft Serve lip stains. They were sent to me in PR. I have all of them. However, I did not open all of them or swatch all of them because I was fairly certain I wasn't going to like these, and that has basically come to fruition. I wanted to be known that before I even tried them, I just am not a lip stain person. It's like not my favorite thing. So for me to like open a bunch of them and like, it's like unnecessary for me to do so because it's just like, I'm not probably going to fall in love with them, but I do want to try them. So I did already open Berry Demure. The smell on these is really tough. This smells like raspberry wine. Like not, I don't know, there's like a little bit of an alcohol smell to them. I don't know if they all smell like alcohol, but I know they are all scented and they're differently scented. It's just everything that a stain does, right? Like, so first they're like glossy and then I don't know if the shade might be better. And Tiff really loves lip stains and I think that they will like these. So that looks really magenta though. Oh, this one smells a lot better. Smell like peaches. The scents actually didn't make sense to me. Smells fruity. I smell fruity. Anyway, that smelled like peach candy to me. None of them are really cool toned, so none of them will really like work for this look. So I'll just keep using the one that I have put on my lips instead of like testing the one. So I'm gonna apply it and then I'll tell you like, I guess what I really don't love about them. Maybe the other one would have been better, but now we're committed. We're committed. We can fix it. I don't like this product. But it's like, it's because it's a lip stain. Okay, here's what I don't love about it. So it's supposed to be glossy, and they are a little bit sweetened with stevia. I remember that from the video. I'm gonna start over, actually, just before anything stains too much. Okay, let's try this again. I mean, there's already some stain, but I'm gonna put on more. So here's the problem. Here's my issue with it. So I did want to test one of the darker ones because I feel like the darker ones will really like kind of like show you what it does. And that has been like for any lip stain. If I use one that's closer to my lip color, you won't notice this as much. So here's what happens. The formula, because it's glossy, I feel inclined that I would want to wear this more glossy rather than put it on and then blot off the glossiness because I just don't like the look of a lip stain. So the formula is not, it doesn't feel like it wants to be glossy. And what I mean by that is like when you put on a lip gloss, it like moves around a little bit, but it still like looks good and you can get an even application of it. But with this, I just feel like I can't get an even application of it. And that feels really important when you're talking about a lip stain. And I would rather wear it glossy than wear it, you know, blotted. And then when you blot it, it's uneven. And like, that's also like due to the dryness of my lips, of course. And if you like a lip stain, you probably have like a whole way to do that. But the way it works the best, I have found, is like apply it, blot it off, and then rub it in like the remnant gloss with your finger. But like, it is a little bit discolored on the center of my lip. The stain is like nice, like the color of the stain is nice. But the thing is, I would want to wear it more glossy. If I wear it glossy and I let it like stay emollient and glossy on my lips, it will travel, right? So then a lip stain, like the glory and beauty of a lip stain is like it's going to stay on your lips. However, if the gloss feathers outside of my lip line, then that will stain. So then whenever I'm like blotting off or like all of the glossiness comes off. Then I have like, it looks like I'm like a child who just ate a red popsicle. Like, and it doesn't like, and like I like got it all over my face. That's how I feel when I use it. It doesn't make me feel very pretty. I'm gonna just say that. Maybe I need to try one of the ones that are closer to like my skin tone, my actual lip color, but I just don't think I'll use this. I don't know. I know glossy stains are like also like a very big like Asian beauty type thing. And I don't know if those formulas are better or like how much this mimics one of those. But yeah, this wouldn't have been a thing I would have bought. I feel like, thank you, Trixie Cosmetics, for sending them to me. But this is not something I would really use. It's the first thing that Trixie sent me that I was like, not super delighted by, and that doesn't feel good. I'm gonna put on a regular lip gloss though. This might cool it off just a little bit. The lip oil I had on, the one from Lethal. It's still a strong lip for this look. It's like not super cool toned, but yeah. Okay, let's do some Sparkle Cam. And then we'll get a little bit of the cheek. Oh, look at the sparkle. It's such a pretty sparkle on the eye. The cheek I could do without. Let's do manual blur. Let's blur. Ooh. 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 A little bit of the cheek. Also, just take a look at how the foundation's sitting on me, just to get a closer look at it. I do want to say that I feel like my skin has been really nice recently, so I don't think that the foundation has to put up a big fight with my skin right now, but I do find that it has looked glamorous anytime I've put it on. Look at it. Oh, yeah. Just to reiterate, not a huge fan of the lip stains. It might be some of your gigs. If you are already into glossy lip stains, then this might be something you're interested in. I don't know that it's for me. The lip oil from Lethal, they did give me a promo code. It's only for the Dexter collection. It's just hautemess Tom 10. It will get you 10% off. No pressure to buy anything though, of course. The Dexter collection is interesting. I know that a lot of you also wanted to see me use that palette on camera. I have used it a couple times. It's really lovely. It's a really lovely formula. It's just like not quite my color story. I like this lip oil quite a bit, but I've not historically been a fan of lip oils. So I don't know if that makes it a particularly good lip oil or I just like a bad lip oil. But it's like nice and thin and lovely. It's just really lovely. Okay, the highlighter in Andromeda and Diva's collection, Dieverune, it's not for me. And I think there are a lot of people who are very into like something that looks like this. It's unfortunately, it's not me. Like I will probably never use that. Maybe I'll do some short form where I use some of these and do some short form also using this palette again, because I really like this palette. I think the Dieverune, their eyeshadow formula is really nice. I really like their mattes. I have been finding that they have been really nice to work with. And I will say, if you are just gonna use shimmers, you're gonna need probably adhesive, because I do feel like I had some fallout from the shimmer, but this shade is so pretty. The shade I put on my lids, I really like it. The duochrome in it just really pops. It's so sparkly. I'm a big fan of this. I really like this. It's very pretty. Congratulations, Andromeda, on your collaboration with Dieverune. I hope it goes really well. This launches August 3rd, which I think is Sunday. Is that a Sunday? Tomorrow is the 1st. It's Friday as I'm filming. So yeah, Sunday, this coming Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you were interested in this, that's when it launches. I know the brand is a smaller brand. I don't know what the likelihood of it selling out is, but I'm not saying that to try to like tempt you to buy it. I don't know if there will be restocks. Those are things that I just simply do not know, but I will do some more looks with that so you can see more looks with that as well at some point. And then the foundation, I'm not quite sure that adding the oil worked, because I think that the oil didn't like want to quite mix in with the formula. So I did want to say this because I haven't said this about this in particular yet. So I think these are $33 a piece, the face bases from the People of Earth company. I'm very lucky to have received PR from them, but I think if you were to try this formula, I would skip the mixer at first, because you won't know how you feel about the formula. So I would say it would probably be the best course of action if you were interested in this to just buy the face base that would be closest to you, see how you like the formula, and then if you want to make it more perfect by adding a mixer in, I would buy the mixer at a different time. And the only reason I say that is if I were to have purchased all of these, that would have been $99, which I'm getting a lot of product because I got 3 different pans full of product. But that is like when you start adding things to cart and you're adding more than one of these to the cart, it'll just add up quickly. So my recommendation, if this is something that you are interested in, is just start with one. Just start with the one that you think is closest and then build your way out from there. Because I had shown interest in this brand and then they reached out to me to send PR. But if because I was going to buy one and I was going to buy a shade just with my own dollar, and I would have just bought one. I wouldn't have bought like multiples to mix and match, at least at first. But if it, maybe after I learned that like I needed to, or like that I wanted to, then I would have bought more. But that's just what I wanted to say about that. And then the Trixie primer spray I really like. Okay, and I think, was that everything? Still loving the About Face powder. That was what I used for my powder today. Use the setting spray as well for Trixie. I think I like the primer more than I like the setting spray. I do like the setting spray as well. I haven't figured out if it improves longevity. Although it was the setting spray I wore when I met Bosco and my makeup held out that night. So that's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of playing with makeup. Hopefully I don't have to wear this band anymore because I need to rip it off literally so fast after I'm done filming. Okay, so that means I'm going to wrap things up. Make sure you check the pinned comment to help people in Gaza. I'm on Patreon and I have channel memberships. You can join me over there, but there's no pressure. I'm just so happy that you are here. Make sure you subscribe if you're not yet subscribed, and that's my time. I gotta go. Remember to follow your hope and you'll find me, and I'll see you in a video very soon. Go forth. It's out.